Hey, how's it going, people? This is Wayne Riley from the All Knightz, and in this video I'm just giving you a quick breakdown of how I do my character designing, because I've had a few people asking me, and this is also to share with some of my friends that I'm going to have doing some work with me. So this is just a way of explaining the process. Now you're looking at my character called Isis, and that's a facial shot of her there, so you get a basic idea. And I've actually got another image of her by Jay Reed as well. Yeah, shout outs to Jay Reed for this one. Don't forget to check him out with his comic content of chaos. But yeah, that's a design Jay Reed did of her. So you get the basic idea of what she looks like. So this is her. Now, how I started doing it was like this. I would go into Illustrator. I'm not in Illustrator now, by the way. This is Photoshop. But I would go into Illustrator and I would basically draw. First, I draw it on paper. And then I would use my scanner and I would scan this image and then import it into Illustrator and put on a layer on top of it and do the line work. So you've got the pencil work here, and then you've got the line work on top. Lower the opacity so you can't really see it that much. So it's really faint like that, you see. So you can just about make it out, and then that's enough for you to see it and enough for you to draw it without being disturbed when you're doing your line work. And then it will look like this second image over here, or moreover it will look more like this. So straight away, that's pure line work. So what you would then do is, with that line work, it's still really flat, of course, and you want it to be more definitive than that. So zoom in. Here's a shot I did earlier. Now you would use the magic lasso tool, not magic lasso, sorry, just the polygonal lasso tool. I cannot pronounce that to save my life, so forgive me. But yeah, you would select that. Let me just delete that and do the process again so you see. So yeah, you'd select that tool and then you'd do this. So, you know, just doesn't have to be detailed. I'm just giving you a rough idea. And then that's pretty much it. So that would be how you would add color to it. Yeah. Now what you'll notice is that when I did that, I did it on a layer underneath where the actual line work is, and there is a reason for that. Now have a look at how the line work is there. Obviously the line work is how it is. I've obviously stylized it and made it really neat. But if I take the line work away and just do the shape I did, you can see it's really rigid, and that's the point. It's good to do it underneath the line work because it's thick enough to kind of mask out how rigid those lines really are. So then you end up with a more neater and a cleaner cut. So the key thing is, have the line work on the very top layer and then do your coloring underneath. And then if I was to add white to do the eyes, I would do that on top of that layer, or just on the same layer, but as long as it's on top. And then you'd end up with what you see here. But I'm getting ahead of myself because I haven't mentioned the fact that there's another key part here that makes your work look really good, which is when you add the black parts of the hair. Already you can see it's a lot more defined. And then you add the shading tone. Now I do this on purpose because it makes it a lot more easier for myself or any other artist to see it when they're doing the color work. Because if you give it to them just flat without any of this, they're going to have to guess where the shadows are going to be, and then that can take time. Whereas if it's done for them, they can just pretty much just follow it and use their own method of kind of drawing over it, or, you know, making sure that they follow the guidelines of where the shadows are. You can also experiment further and you can add the tint to the hair, and already you kind of see that you've got a lot more of a definition of, you know, how it's supposed to look in terms of the tint and the dark tones. And then, like I said, you go from that and then you just do the color. Now you would probably remove those shading examples because that's only there just for show, but you get the picture. But the bottom line is, just make sure that you always do your coloring underneath the line work, and then that's it. So that's pretty much my process. And like I said, I can do quite a few of these in one day. So all of those turns, like the 360 turns, the front, the side and the back and all that, if I was left alone, I could probably do maybe several of these in a few hours. It depends, because I get disturbed a lot when the phone rings and what have you. But that's just one good way of doing it, and then I can obviously pass it on to someone else to do the line work, and then someone else to do the color work. and then you can really get it done faster. So that's my process. Anyway, that's my video. Thanks for watching. And before I go, just wanted to let you guys know, Red Tempo issue 1 by Darius Cummins is out now, available on www.allknightz.com. And as always, Hardwired issue 1 is still available, as well as issue 2, and issue 3 is on its way. So make sure you check that out. You can see all the names involved, too many names to mention. But yeah, we got a lot going on with All Knightz, and this is the behind the scenes creative part. So when you're just looking at the comic and you want to realize, you want to kind of guess what go into making these things, it's stuff like this. And this kind of makes it easier for your comic artists to work from, because it's a style sheet that they need, so they can obviously gather what kind of what the character looks like from different angles, because you don't want a comic book artist going dark and just guessing what your character looks like. So if you're an aspiring comic artist, you definitely need a style sheet for all your characters like this. Anyway, that's all from me now. I'll do another video like this in the future and give a bit more details. And check out some of my time-lapse videos as well, and you might enjoy those because that shows you a bit more in depth. Alright, peace.